It's like, get out of here.
Yeah,
you know
but
what
if
I
you
mean?
said, you know what, I really like that, or like I'm gonna hop on it and remix it myself.
Then it's an advantage. Then you can use it and let somebody do something. You give it the okay.
Wow,
That's a cool way to work, man. You know what I mean? Like it's still your voice.
yeah.
So why don't we work together?
It reminds me of the early days of YouTube, like people chopping up videos and ideas being more crowdsourced. But then somebody could take it and be like, let's
Think
run with
about
that.
it with the TikToks where people are sharing, like they split it in half.
Yeah.
And just watch you looking at another video. It works, man. It still goes viral. I mean, you're literally taking content from other people and remixing
How
it.
do you recreate the creative spirit, the performance, the spontaneity, the yes and with AI? Let's say 50 years from now, somebody is using a deep fake of Terry Crews on a set. How do you exactly think about, okay, marrying technology and spontaneity?
First of all, you know, we all study the past. When you look at comedians, they all study Richard Pryor so that they can improve on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything, we stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I look at a guy, like there's an actor by the name of Woody Strode, who was back in Spartacus, big, giant, black actor who's a legend. But if he hadn't been here, I wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? He broke through way back in the days of Kirk Douglas and all this stuff. But I realized I am an iteration of several different people. And I think with AI, it's the same thing. What we'll be able to do is look over the years at different people and improve a performance by doing that. You know what I mean? By taking all of it and all of a sudden seeing what works and what didn't. Because that's really what this whole thing is all about. It's finding out what works. This is one thing I do love about like traditional broadcasts. Traditional broadcast has figured out a lot of they've done a lot of the hard work because they found what works. When you look at the sitcom format, when you look at the hour-long format, they start to really understand like this works here, this works there. Things you really can't reinvent. You know what I mean? Because they tried it and they put it out there. And when things sunk, they were like, oh my God. They kind of like, they done the Titanic for us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we're like, we're not going to sail through icebergs anymore. You know what I mean? And that's what I love about traditional broadcast.
And what's an example of that, Terry?
Well, you know, AGT. AGT is the Ed Sullivan Show. The thing that created television. It never changed. Think about it. Now it got glossier.
Right.
It got better. It got woo, woo, woo. But it's still, you take regular people, put them in front of, give them a dream, let them work on their dreams in front of the whole of America and now the world. It never gets old. These concepts never, ever change. And people want to see someone go from here to there. You know what I mean? It'll never, ever get old. And so when you look at, that's what happened on Ed Sullivan. There were people who were discovered and people who went from here to there. And the same thing on AGT. It's such a wonderful thing because that's traditional broadcast, but they figured it out. You know what I'm saying? This is one reason why it's in season 18.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not going anywhere. It's not, people will never get old with that because a new year. And I have to tell you this too. I'm always surprised because I think I've seen it all and I've never seen enough. I turn around and I'm like, no one has sung like this. No one has ever danced like that. No one has ever done magic this way. And it's like, you realize that there is no limit to human capability. No limit. Now, even a computer has only so many terabytes, but human beings, we can go forever. You'll always be shocked, always, because you go, I did not know people could go that far. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit like sports too. You know how people get better and better? Look, the way Stephen Curry shoots is unthinkable in the beginning days of the NBA.
Absolutely.
But now he can shoot from half court like it's nothing. This is the process. This is the way creativity works. It's a beautiful thing, man. And you got to let it happen.
That's amazing. And what's really interesting, Terry, is you mentioned that when you started, the internet was almost the bottom of the rung
Exactly.
for that entertainment.
Exactly.
How has that changed? How has social media changed the way you think about what you create? Like, take me through, like, what is your relationship with social media as somebody so established in Hollywood in the traditional world?
Well, see, once I had that breakthrough in commercial, I realized no medium is beneath me. You know what I mean? There's no such thing. And there's another way to entertain people. I remember doing early reality. I did a TV show for BET called The Family Cruise. And me and my whole family put ourselves on cameras. And this is the early days. People were like, no, you don't do reality. You'll be condemned to, hell, Hollywood hell, But I did it and it worked. I said, now I realized it all works. And I started getting into the internet, man, and like the power of YouTube, the power of Instagram, the power of TikTok. I embrace it all. When in the early days of the internet, I remember being on the set of Brooklyn Nine-Nine and the early days of Instagram and the whole thing, and no one would let you take a picture on set. They were like, oh, no. If you pulled out your phone, there would be executives running over like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I was like, yeah, but I'm trying to share this on my Facebook. This is back in the day, right? Then one year, we come back after our hiatus. We come back. They're like, okay, everybody take as many pictures as you want. And I was scared. I was like, no, you trying to trick me, man. You trying to trick me. And they were, no, go ahead and post. Go ahead. Post everything. Post a bunch of behind the scenes, all that stuff. You got to say, you would get sued. If you had behind the scenes footage on sets and all this stuff, it was legal ramifications. All of a sudden they were just, no, go ahead. And I didn't trust it for a little while. I remember it was like 6 months I was going, I don't trust you guys. Y'all try to hit me with a lawsuit. But then because they discovered the power of what the internet was. And they were like, look, you're not giving it away. As long as you don't give away any spoilers, you're giving people access. Yeah. And so I embraced it wholeheartedly. And I realized too that I did a lot to reject the people that I didn't want on my social media. And that was another thing too, because I realized that, there's a big difference between a car accident and a museum. When I say a museum, you go in there, you have 10 people, 20 people who go and enjoy and watch and love it. Then you have a car accident that gets millions of followers. But it's a